Welcome to FinTech Matrix, where tech meets money and trends become power. You heard it here first. Today is Thursday, July 11th, 2025, and we're diving into the key headlines that shaped your financial world over the past 48 hours. First, in finance, from Trump's aggressive new tariffs to record-breaking stock market rallies and corporate earnings that are shocking investors. Then in tech, we cover Nvidia's $4 trillion valuation milestone, major cybersecurity arrests in the UK, and the rising influence of AI in climate tech and fintech investments. Finally, actionable insights for what you should do now. Grab your cup of coffee. Let's unpack what matters to your wallet and your world. Let's start with what's moving the markets. Here's your finance update. Markets reach new records. Nasdaq, S&P 500, FTSE 100 all surge. Over the past two trading sessions, global equity markets posted remarkable gains. The Nasdaq Composite, S&P 500, and FTSE 100 all reached fresh record highs, supported by strong corporate earnings, stable macroeconomic signals, and easing investor concerns over tariff volatility. The Nasdaq was buoyed by a surge in technology stocks, while the S&P 500 rose across all major sectors. In London, the FTSE 100 climbed above 8,975, setting a new all-time high despite concurrent news of cyber attacks and political unrest. Investor sentiment remained strong across asset classes, with the VIX index, a gauge of market volatility, falling below 12 for the first time in 3 weeks, signaling confidence in current economic fundamentals. United States Trump's 50% tariff announcement fails to shake markets. On July 9th, former U.S. President Donald Trump announced sweeping new tariffs targeting global copper imports and select countries. Starting August 1st, a 50% tariff will apply to all copper imports from Brazil, with up to 49% on other nations, citing national security and domestic mining protection. However, markets shrugged off the news, viewing the threat as largely political posturing. Traders and analysts noted that similar threats from Trump in the past were either walked back or delayed. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained nearly 200 points post-announcement, and the dollar index remained stable at 104.2. Delta Airlines skyrockets 12% on strong Q2 earnings. Shares of Delta Airlines, DAL, jumped 12% pre-market on July 10th after the company reported strong second-quarter earnings and raised full-year guidance. Delta posted better-than-expected revenue growth, citing increased business travel, strong domestic demand, and successful cost control initiatives. Its earnings beat Wall Street expectations by 14 cents per share, and the company increased its fiscal outlook through year-end. The rally in Delta shares helped lift other transport stocks and boosted investor confidence in cyclical sectors. Kellogg jumps 50% amid buyout speculation. Shares of Kellogg Company, KLG, soared more than 50% after reports surfaced of an imminent buyout by Ferrero Group, the Italian multinational known for Nutella and Ferrero Rocher. The acquisition is rumored to be valued between $3 and $3.1 billion, and if confirmed, would mark one of the largest U.S. packaged food deals of the year. Kellogg's stock surged on the volume more than 10x its daily average, with analysts calling the deal a brand synergy powerhouse that could revitalize both companies' growth strategies. CBOE outperforms competitors. CBOE Global Markets Incorporated (CBOE) climbed plus 1% to $234.43, outperforming rival exchanges CME and IC on July 10th. CBOE's gains were driven by record options volume, stronger than expected transaction fee revenue, and new institutional interest in crypto options. Market analysts praised CBOE's agility in adapting to the rising demand for alternative asset instruments, including structured equity derivatives and tokenized futures. Crypto Roundup: Bitcoin holds, stablecoins under scrutiny. The crypto market remained stable over the last 48 hours. Bitcoin hovered around $62,700, while Ethereum traded at $3,340. However, regulatory pressure continued to mount on stablecoins in both the US and the EU. The SEC is reportedly drafting a new framework requiring full real-time asset disclosure for stablecoin issuers. Meanwhile, The European Central Bank confirmed that MiCA enforcement will begin ahead of schedule in October, with additional reporting standards to follow. Market participants expect some short-term tightening, but overall view these changes as a move toward long-term legitimacy in the crypto space. Segment wrap-up. Bottom line, markets are thriving, not just surviving. With record-breaking equity highs, strong corporate earnings, and muted reaction to aggressive tariff threats, investors are showing confidence in the underlying strength of the economy. Crypto remains stable amid regulatory tightening, while traditional finance players continue to innovate. The key takeaway: expect strength to continue, but stay alert to policy shocks and global politics. Now let's turn to technology, where AI dominance, digital crime, and fintech disruption continue to reshape the landscape. Nvidia becomes first company to hit $4 trillion market cap. On July 10th, Nvidia officially became the first company in history to reach a $4 trillion valuation, solidifying its dominance in the global AI race. The milestone followed a sustained rally in AI-related investments, GPU demand, and record revenue projections in the data center segment. Nvidia's stock closed at $1,725 per share, with analysts citing continued demand from cloud providers, military tech integrators, and sovereign AI infrastructure projects. CEO Jensen Huang called the moment the dawn of a new industrial age, and emphasized the company's strategic positioning in generative AI and simulation technology. Nvidia now surpasses Apple, Microsoft, and Saudi Aramco in market cap, redefining investor sentiment around the AI supply chain. 4 arrested in UK over cyber attacks targeting retailers. The UK's National Crime Agency confirmed the arrest of 4 suspects in connection to a series of coordinated cyber attacks on major UK retailers, which resulted in over £300 million in damages. The attacks, which began in early 2024 and continued through May 2025, included sophisticated ransomware deployments, data theft, and extortion. Authorities traced the group through a combination of blockchain transaction forensics and cross-border telecom metadata analysis. Despite the news, the FTSE 100 climbed to a record high, indicating minimal investor concern over long-term systemic risk. Cybersecurity firms such as Darktrace and CrowdStrike saw modest stock gains on the news. Agentic AI debated in C-level FinTech Forum. On July 9th, FinTech executives convened in a closed-door roundtable to discuss the rise of agentic AI, artificial intelligence systems capable of making autonomous decisions without direct prompts. The forum, hosted in London by Banking Tech Insights, addressed the risks and rewards of deploying AI agents in customer service, fraud detection, and compliance automation. Banks including HSBC, Barclays, and Standard Chartered expressed cautious optimism, noting improved operational efficiency, but warning of liability issues tied to algorithmic misbehavior. The discussion reflects a growing interest in AI that goes beyond tools toward agents that act, not just analyze. Climate tech startup raises $25 million after disinformation backlash. Rainmaker, a California-based climate tech startup specializing in drone-based cloud seeding, raised $25 million in series of funding despite recently being the target of online disinformation. Conspiracy theorists had accused the firm of weather manipulation, prompting investigations and reputational risk. The company responded with full transparency, and major VC firms, including Sequoia and Breakthrough Energy, backed the round. Rainmaker plans to expand into Latin America and the Middle East, offering on-demand rainfall services for agricultural resilience. The funding is seen as a vote of confidence in high-risk, high-impact sustainability innovation. VC and fintech deal flow remains strong. iCapital, a private markets access platform, secured $820 million in growth equity, further integrating retail access to private equity and hedge funds. Revolut, the UK-based neobank, was revalued at $65 billion, reaffirming its position as Europe's most valuable fintech. OpenAI completed the acquisition of I.O., a synthetic voice and human speech processing startup, for $6.5 billion. The acquisition bolsters OpenAI's control over conversational AI pipelines and generative media tech. Despite broader macro uncertainty, deal volume in July remains steady, with late-stage valuations rebounding faster than expected. Tech investors becoming public personalities. A new trend is gaining momentum in Silicon Valley. Tech investors are going viral. Prominent VCs like Sean Maguire, Sequoia, and Mark Andreessen are increasingly building massive online followings by sharing controversial takes on AI, geopolitics, and society. While some in the industry see this as a branding play, others argue it risks politicizing capital allocation and influencing founders through ideology rather than fundamentals. Nevertheless, the trend reflects a new phase of visibility in venture capital, where LPs, startups, and markets are all watching how investors behave off the term sheet. Segment wrap-up. Bottom line, tech is in a power phase, not just growth. Nvidia's $4 trillion valuation confirms the primacy of AI in modern investing, while the fintech ecosystem continues to attract late-stage capital at scale. Cybercrime remains a risk, but so does AI ethics. As agentic AI moves into serious enterprise deployment, investors, regulators, and the public must prepare for a world where machines act, not just respond. Innovation is accelerating, but so are the stakes. And that wraps up today's breakdown. From surging markets and tariff standoffs to AI breakthroughs and climate tech funding, one thing is clear. The future of finance and technology isn't just arriving. It's evolving right under our feet. Whether you're adjusting your portfolio or eyeing your next startup move, staying informed is your edge. If today's deep dive helped you see the market a little clearer, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tap the bell so you never miss a beat. Drop a comment below. Do you think Nvidia's valuation is justified, or are we entering bubble territory? And remember, this is FinTech Matrix, delivering money, tech, and trends to your doorstep. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.